Good afternoon, UNF. You're watching UNF Weekly on UNF TV. I'm Amal Kamal.
And I'm Kayla Beckman. We're here to bring you your weekly campus and Jacksonville news.
Last week, we brought you a story on how much our student body president gets paid.
Josh Mazer now brings a more in-depth look into that subject.
If you're a UNF student, you're probably aware that tuition isn't the only thing that you have to pay for. Every student has a set of fees that they are required to pay on top of regular tuition for classes. These fees can cover everything from the use of the library to admission to sporting events. But what about the activity and service fee? Well, part of that goes to funding student government, which includes funding for this man's salary. This is Student Government President Matt Brockelman, and relatively speaking, he does fairly well for himself.
Accurate. My gross wages for the year is $17,000, and then I can get up to 12 credit hours of in-state tuition.
But what does that mean? Well, in the state of Florida, that makes him the highest paid student government president among public universities. Brockelman's gross wage, on top of the amount of free tuition he is allowed, adds up to just under $21,000 in compensation, not including his free parking spot and cell phone allowance. USF's president makes just over $17,000 total, and the presidents at FSU and UF both make around $10,500, all of which have a student enrollment more than double that of UNF. So why is it so high? Everett Malcolm is the Associate Vice President of Student and International Affairs, the department that oversees student government activities. He declined an on-camera interview, but explained the reasoning as to why the compensation is the way it is. Quote, "It was determined some time ago that in order to attract students who are not financially independent, sufficient compensation is required. That way, the presidency is open to all students and not just those who can afford not to have to work while pursuing their educational endeavors and serving the student body." Brockelman agrees.
We're not here to make money. I think if any student runs for student body president to make money, they're going to be disappointed. But it is enough to pay the bills, and it's enough to have a little bit on the side to be able to do what you want to do. I'm not decked out in gold jewelry. I don't go to Ruth's Chris. But I am able to pay my bills, and I am able to, afford school, which, if there was no compensation, I wouldn't be a student body president because I wouldn't be able to afford it.
But why this particular number? The student government position is designed to simulate a job that a student might have had they not taken the position. It was determined in 2005 by the student government treasurer that $8.50 per hour was proper compensation for the work the job entails. Multiply that by 40 hours per week, and you have the president's salary.
I work a lot of hours. We're budgeted for up to 40, but usually I'll be here maybe 50, 55 hours a week.
That means there's hours he doesn't get paid for. But why don't other universities do the same thing? Florida State has a policy where student fees cannot be used to pay for another student's tuition, part of the reason their president makes less than UNF's. There isn't a guideline in the Florida Constitution regarding how student fees can be used. That comes down to each individual university's interpretation. In the end, a student government or student body president's salary is determined by a vote. In UNF's case, a vote by the Student Government Senate here at the Student Union. Whether that's fair or not, that's for the students to decide. Josh Mazer, UNF TV.
Brockelman did say that if there was an opportunity to benefit the student body by lowering his own salary, that he would consider it.
You can see the full interview with the student government president on our website at www.unf-tv.com. October is National Domestic Awareness Month, and students at UNF help raise awareness for the cause. UNF is a little bit quieter after Tuesday night's Take Back the Night, an event raising awareness for domestic violence. It began with informational booths from the LGBT community, Intercultural Center for Peace, and the Victim Advocacy Program, as well as a self-defense demonstration from a local mother and daughter, and even a JSO officer was there to give tips on how to stay safe on campus. The entire event was sponsored by the Women's Center. As it got dark, hundreds of students gathered to walk around the entire campus from the student union to the crossings with signs and chanting messages of love.
Attendance over 500 people tonight, representing different organizations from the fraternities and sororities to different sports groups on campus.
Stay tuned for more about Domestic Violence Month featured on this month's Inside Jacksonville.
One local band will be opening for the Jay Sean and Jason Derulo concert. Osprey Productions hosted the Battle of the Bands at UNF Thursday. 10 bands competed for the chance to be the opening act for the up-and-coming concert. Participants were judged on performance, music quality, and crowd response. One UNF student came out to support her brothers and her friends in the band Stank Sauce.
Yeah, I think that they have a really good sound and everything, so for what Jay Sean and Jason Derulo would be, looking forward to and playing with, I think that they would be a really good band to open for them.
Stank Sauce won the Battle of the Bands. They will be opening for Jay Sean and Jason Derulo's concerts 3 weeks from tonight. Some new restaurants have opened around Jacksonville.
Stay tuned to find out where UNF students can get great deals.
Coming up, we'll tell you why some of the best surfers in Northeast Florida came right here to Jacksonville Beach.
Welcome back. You're watching UNF Weekly on UNF TV. Less than a mile from our campus, within minutes of most UNF students, new opportunities are emerging. The St. John's Town Center, already home to dozens of businesses, is expanding in the restaurant industry. In their attempt to bring in more business, some restaurants are offering special deals. According to service manager John Wilkins, Applebee's has special discounts for UNF students and faculty.
The great thing that we do is we offer 10% discount. All UNF students all have to do is show their ID card. We also have the Osprey account, so if they don't have cash themselves, they have money on their Osprey card, they can come in here and use it.
Others also accept Aussie bucks, including Yobi's frozen yogurt. The town center is not the only place celebrating recent openings. In addition, a new Pollo Tropical just opened on San Jose Boulevard. But if students are looking for something just around the corner, the St. John's Town Center just got a little bit bigger.
Unhealthy eating habits are common among college students. Some may think they are stuck choosing between what is healthy and what is convenient. Whether you are at home or on campus, this is not the case.
College students are getting food. They're getting calories, but not necessarily the nutrient-dense calories. So I think that's probably more of a problem. In other words, we're probably not seeing a lot of weight loss. It's probably more weight gain and just not getting the real nutrition in their food that they need to feel really good. So, it could be as simple as every once in a while going into the grocery store or into a little convenience store where they can actually buy a couple pieces of fruit, like some bananas or apples or, whatever's in season. And then maybe something like even a little frozen dinner, if they have a way to keep it safe, keep it frozen.
To learn healthy eating tips to apply to your own life, visit www.unf.tv.com.
Stay tuned.
We'll have more coming up after the break.
I'm Sam Hauser. Coming up on UNF Weekly, I'll tell you about one UNF workout group that's as good as going to the club.
Welcome back. For lots of young people, surfing is more than a sport. It's really a way of life. UNF Weekly's Rebecca Davidson went to a local contest and got a glimpse into the world of competitive surfing.
When the sun comes up on Jacksonville Beach, the surfers come out. Last Friday, the best surfers in Northeast Florida gathered here to surf the Jacks Beach waves. Why? The 7 Tiki Pro Surfing Contest. Surfers came from all over to compete for the cash prize, some as far away as Barbados, like Josh Burke. He may be new to our city, but he's no stranger to the water.
I'm from Barbados, and I started surfing when I was 10 months, and my dad had me on the front of his board, and when I was 3, I got my own board. I started surfing competitively at 6.
No matter how far away they came from, competitors admit that it takes more than just a love for the sport to get this far. It takes a lot of hard work.
Well, you just have to be dedicated and do contests and feel like you have an opportunity to do well. Otherwise, you're going to be blowing the money that it costs to enter the contest.
This event gives surfers a chance to show off their skills and maybe even win a little cash. But the competitors aren't the only ones with an opportunity to profit. Local businesses also got the chance to get their names out by sponsoring the event.
It's the biggest event in the state of Florida, money-wise, which is awesome. It's awesome for Jacksonville, for the community, all the surfers coming up. It's great for the kids to be able to come out here and see some of the guys they idol, a lot of the guys they see in the magazines, on surf videos. So it's really good for the community. Then you got all the people coming in from town out to the beach, spending money out here. While they're out here, they come out here, watch for a few hours, and they go eat at a restaurant, and that's what it's all about.
This is the third year of the 7 Tiki Pro, and from the surfers to the sponsors to the local onlookers, no one is planning to let this event end anytime soon. Rebecca Davidson, UNF Weekly.
This is just the first of many pro surfing events that are expected to be coming here to Jacksonville. So, Kayla, you were actually in this event, weren't you?
I was. I didn't do too well, but any day at the beach is a good day.
Agreed.
Ever thought about getting exercise while dancing at the club?
As strange as it sounds, it has a name. It's called Zumba, and it is a cardio party. Sam Hauser has more.
Zumba is a workout that combines dancing and fast-paced music. It provides a fun, club-like atmosphere while still serving its purpose as a workout. The class is held every Tuesday at 7:30 in the arena and is UNFID. Teresa Kistel is a Zumba instructor at UNF and has been teaching Zumba for 4 years. She says that with practice, anyone can do Zumba. She also says that it is a great way to get away from the stresses of everyday life.
It's so much fun, and I think you kind of forget about, what you worry about, like your job or school, because you're too kind of concerned on the dance moves that you forget about everything else. And it kind of makes you feel more confident, and it gets you sort of doing things that you've never done before and moving in a way that you've never moved before. So I think it's pretty fun for everybody.
Zumba has been continuously growing in popularity over the years, and Kistel says that it is because it's a workout but feels like anything but one. She says that for her, the fun social aspect takes her mind off of the workout.
Well, when I do it, it's kind of like you're at the club, and you're dancing with your friends. So it's sort of like a social exercise hour where you do get a great workout, but at the end you realize that you're really sweaty and you just had a great time.
In the end, Kistel says that it's just about enjoying the music and giving the class a chance.
It is a dance fitness class, but it is for everybody. So you don't have to know anything before you come to class. It's pretty much you just follow along and enjoy the music, and before you know it, the class is over and you're really sweaty and you've had a great time.
Sam Hauser, UNF Weekly.
UNF Group Fitness had a record month in September with over 2,500 participants.
The weekly Zumba class played a major role with numbers in the 50s and 60s every week.
Coming up,
we'll tell you about a couple of students showing their skills on the not-so-big stage.
I'm Joe Helrigal, and coming up in sports, we'll tell you how the Saints came marching through Jacksonville and what the Jaguars had to say about it. We'll have all your high school football highlights, and on campus, we'll tell you how women's soccer did over the weekend, and much more. Stay tuned.
Ever wondered where your water comes from? For most of us, it comes from aquifers beneath the ground. Imagine a sponge full of holes. Porous rock, sand, shell, and limestone hold water and allow it to move. Water is drawn from the ground through wells. Though rain refills our aquifers, we're using water faster than rain can replenish it. Learn how you can help conserve our water at floridaswater.com.
So, Joe, I hear you have a lot in sports for us today.
Yeah, you got some Jag news for us? What's going on?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Jags and how they did over the weekend. Not too well, but it happens in the season. It's tough. It's the NFL, so that happens. We're going to talk about women's soccer and how they did over the weekend. They did pretty well over the weekend, so we'll talk about that and a little bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah. As many people watched, the Jacksonville Jaguars had a hard time finding the rhythm to secure a win. The Jacksonville Jaguars returned home on Sunday after 2 weeks on the road. They took on the New Orleans Saints in Blaine Gabbert's first home start. Gabbert completed under half of his passes, but did throw one touchdown to tight end Zach Miller in the second quarter. The Jags trailed 14-10 at halftime, but were held off the scoreboard in the second half. Running back Maurice Jones-Drew didn't have any touchdowns with 11 carries, and the Saints won 23-10, kicking 3 field goals in the second half. After the game, Coach Del Rio and Jones-Drew talked about Gabbert's performance and their disappointment in the team's play.
I don't think it was ever a situation where he didn't or we didn't understand what they were trying to do and what we needed to do. We just didn't, execute to take advantage of some of the one-on-one matchups that we were getting. And like I said, we had some opportunities where we either dropped the ball or misfired. A couple different times the protection broke down, but it wasn't like scheme-driven. It was more guys getting beat.
We saw some things that we could attack their defense in the passing game. We wanted to exploit it a little bit. I thought we did a great job coming out in the first drive. I dropped a pass that shouldn't have, I think I'm the one that killed that drive, and I definitely, that's not how we play here. So it was just little things like that when you have the ball in your hands not catching it, or, and I'm pretty much the one to blame for that one. So there's a lot of things we have to work on.
The Jags take on the Cincinnati Bengals at Everbank Field this Sunday at 1 p.m. And it was announced today that the blackout deadline for the Jaguars has been extended. The Jags requested and have been granted by the NFL a 24-hour extension by teaming up with Bud Light and agreeing to buy the unsold tickets. This means that Sunday's game against the Bengals can be televised if the team can sell the remaining general admission tickets or buy them themselves. Well, it's week 5 of high school football, so let's see who's on top and who's not. To the beaches for this one, Neptune Beach that is, to see Fletcher take on the Rebels of Forest High School. Fletcher strikes first in the first quarter when Evan North finds Dax Van Anderwerp to give the boys in purple a 7-0 lead. Fletcher made the scoreboard operator work hard on Friday night with the reigning highschoolsports.net Student Athlete of the Week, Jamari Smith, running for 4 first half touchdowns. Fletcher wins this one at home 49-3. Well, moving right along, we head to Sandalwood to take on Terry Parker and the Saints. The Saints were 3-1 coming into this game and still looking for a close contest. No games within 4 touchdowns on either side of this for the Saints. Sandalwood with a 42-8 halftime lead. But we move to the third quarter where Parker Bain takes it in on the quarterback keeper to put the Saints up 49-8. Then in the fourth, it's Tyrone Washington. We've been hearing his name a lot these past few weeks. He takes it in for the score. Saints take this one 56-8. Well, some standout players are emerging from the field, so make sure to check out next week's Standout Athlete of the Week. Moritz Birchner for the UNF men's tennis team qualified for the championship match of the Intercollegiate Tennis Association's Men's All-American Championships Wednesday. He defeated Middle Tennessee's Ben David in a 3-set victory on Monday to advance him to the championship match, where he lost to Ohio State's Nelson's Vick 2-0. Birchner, however, did make UNF history by being the first UNF tennis player to reach the ITA championships. The men's tennis team will return to action in 2 weeks at the ITA Southeast Regional held at Georgia. Well, improving records with each game is always a goal in sports, and women's soccer has met that goal twice. Win. That's exactly what the women's soccer team did this past weekend, ending a 3-game losing streak, defeating Mercer 4-0 on Friday night. The Ospreys had 2 goals coming from sophomore forward Carolina Lancia in the 22nd minute and again in the 65th minute of the game. A goal by freshman midfielder Jill Holdsworth put the Ospreys up 3-0 in the 83rd minute, but 4 minutes later, here comes sophomore forward Lauren Hofsenberger, who scores another goal for the Ospreys to secure the win 4-0. Sophomore goalkeeper Megan Dorsey had 4 saves in the game to keep the Bears off the board in a shutout performance, which earned her Defensive Player of the Week for the 2nd time this season. Lancia was also awarded ASUN Conference honors for her performance as Player of the Week, also for the 2nd time this season. The Ospreys followed that win with a 1-0 victory on Sunday against Kennesaw State, in which Dorsey recorded 3 saves and her 2nd straight shutout. The Ospreys now hold a 6-7-1 record overall. The UNF volleyball team lost in the first of 3 matches on the road at Georgia Southern Wednesday night. The Ospreys lost 3-0 against Georgia Southern, bringing their record just below 500 to 8-10. The trio of junior hitters shared the lead on offense as Paige Pridgeon, Danja Medina, and Carolyn Jenkins each finished with 7 kills on the night. Defensively, Nicole Barron collected a team best of 16 digs, followed by 10 for Anna Budeniska. The Ospreys continue their road games this weekend with a pair of important conference games at USC Upstate on Friday and ETSU on Saturday. Well, UNF intramural football regular season is coming to an end as only 1 game is left for next week. Then the playoffs. That's when the crowds come to watch. That's when the competitiveness really begins. Everyone is working for one goal during intramural football season, the championship shirt. Come out to the intramural fields behind Lot 18 and see who gets that shirt. Well, that's all I have for sports.
Well, thanks, Joe.
No problem.
That was very exciting.
Some students at UNF really love to get on stage and showcase their skills. Many very talented Ospreys visited the Student Union Tuesday to perform at Open Mic Night. The students displayed their abilities in front of a crowd full of friends and classmates. The event is put on by Osprey Productions and is held at least once a month. Osprey Productions director Brent Fine says, the Open Mic Nights attract many different types of acts.
Not only one way, but many, including playing a guitar, reading poetry, doing comedy, magic. Pretty much we don't limit anything.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's all we have for today's show.
We'll see you next time on North Florida Weekly.